1. The hidden danger in your salad bowl. You've made the switch. More salads, fewer sweets. Maybe your lunch today looked just like something out of a magazine. Leafy greens, fresh veggies, a drizzle of olive oil. You push away the bread, feel proud, and think, I'm doing the right thing. But later that day, your knees ache, your ankles feel tight. You find yourself gripping the railing just a bit harder as you go down the steps. You wonder, how is this still happening? Here's a truth no one tells you. Not all vegetables are helpful for people over 60. In fact, some of the most common ones, yes, even the ones sitting in your fridge right now, can trigger silent inflammation in your joints, reduce circulation to your legs, and make it harder to walk with confidence. They look healthy, they are natural, but that doesn't mean they're right for you anymore. A long-term study in the Journal of Gerontology followed tens of thousands of older adults and found that certain everyday vegetables were quietly connected to a loss of strength, slower reflexes, and more frequent falls. Not because seniors weren't trying, but because they didn't know. The good news? You don't have to throw away your whole salad bowl. You just need to know which ingredients support your body and which ones may be secretly working against it. Start by paying attention to how your body feels after certain meals. If a salad leaves you stiff, bloated, or oddly tired, keep a food journal. And don't be afraid to swap or simplify. In most American grocery stores today, you can find better options. Spinach instead of raw kale, red peppers instead of green, or a simple steamed veggie plate instead of a raw mix. Because the key to strength at this age isn't eating more, it's eating smarter. And speaking of smart choices, what if one of the best vegetables for aging gracefully is already in your fridge, but you've never seen it as your body's best armor? Let's talk about that next. 2. Broccoli, your natural armor. After 60, it's dinner time. You're standing at the stove, trying to cook something healthy. You've heard the advice, less meat, more greens. So you steam some broccoli, spoon it onto your plate, and eat it, even if it's not your favorite. You think, well, it's supposed to be good for me, right? The truth? Not only is broccoli good for you, it may be one of the most powerful vegetables you can eat after 60. And here's why. As we age, our bodies face a quiet battle every day. Our joints feel stiffer. Our legs don't recover like they used to. We're more prone to swelling, discomfort, or feeling off balance, sometimes for no clear reason. One major cause? Silent inflammation. It's like a slow burn inside your body that you can't feel directly, but it quietly wears down your muscles, your blood vessels, and your strength over time. That's where broccoli steps in. It's rich in a natural compound called sulforaphane, which works like a shield, calming inflammation and helping your body get rid of harmful toxins. It supports your joints, your heart, even your memory. And here's something most people don't know. It can also improve circulation to your legs, helping you walk with more stability and less pain. In fact, a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors who regularly ate broccoli had better leg strength and balance than those who didn't. It's like adding a layer of protection every time you take a bite. So what can you do? Simple. Steam your broccoli lightly, 3 to 5 minutes. Overcooking kills the good stuff. Add a squeeze of lemon or a dash of garlic to make it more enjoyable. Aim for half a cup a day, maybe with dinner or tossed into a lunch bowl. Think of it as giving your body a daily dose of defense. You don't have to change everything. Just this one habit can move you forward. And while broccoli protects your legs and joints, there's another green, soft, leafy, and often overlooked, that quietly fuels your muscles and your brain. Let's take a closer look. 3. Spinach. Fuel for your brain and legs. You walk into the kitchen, but forget why. You open the fridge, stand there for a second, and it slips your mind. Again. And later, when you try to get up from your recliner, your legs feel heavy, like they've aged overnight. Sound familiar? These little moments, mental fog, slower steps, weaker legs, they don't just come with age. Often, they're signs that your brain and muscles aren't getting enough of what they need, strong blood flow. As we get older, our circulation naturally slows down. That means your brain isn't getting the same steady stream of oxygen. And your muscles, especially in your legs, might not be getting enough nutrients to stay strong and responsive. This is where spinach comes in. This humble green leaf, often tossed into salads or hidden in sandwiches, is packed with natural compounds, especially something called nitrates. They help widen your blood vessels so blood can flow more easily to the brain and muscles. The result? You think clearer, you move better, you feel more like you again. In fact, studies from places like Harvard Health have shown that seniors who eat more leafy greens like spinach tend to have sharper memory and stronger legs, even into their 70s and 80s. The best part? You don't need to eat a mountain of it. Just a handful a day can make a real difference. Here's how you can make it easy. Add a handful of fresh spinach to your morning smoothie. Lightly saute it with garlic and olive oil as a dinner side, or toss it into scrambled eggs or soups for a quick nutrient boost. You don't need fancy supplements. Just this one simple food, easy to find, easy to prepare, easy to enjoy. And while spinach fuels your brain and legs, there's another vegetable, bright orange, a childhood favorite, that protects something just as important, your eyes and your balance. Let's talk about that next. 4. Carrots. The bright shield for your eyes and balance. You're stepping off the curb to cross the street. The sun's a little too bright, the edge of the sidewalk a little too hard to see. You hesitate, just for a second, and steady yourself before moving forward. Maybe it's your vision. Maybe it's your balance. Either way, you feel it. You're not as steady as you once were. As we age, small changes in eyesight and coordination start to add up. You might notice it when reading, climbing stairs, or reaching for something on a shelf. But here's what many people don't realize. Vision and balance are deeply connected. If your eyes aren't picking up details like they used to, your brain gets less information to help you stay upright. Combine that with slower reflexes, and it's a recipe for unsteadiness, or worse, a fall. That's where carrots can help. These bright orange roots are rich in beta-carotene, which your body turns into vitamin A, a key nutrient for maintaining healthy eyes. And healthy eyes don't just help you see, they help you move confidently. A long-term study from the National Eye Institute found that older adults who got more vitamin A and other antioxidants from food, like carrots, were less likely to develop age-related macular degeneration, the leading cause of vision loss after 60. But there's more. Carrots also support your nervous system. The antioxidants in carrots protect the nerves that carry signals from your eyes and ears to your muscles. That means better coordination, quicker reactions, and fewer stumbles. Want an easy way to get more carrots in your day? Munch on raw carrot sticks with hummus for a crunchy snack. Grate them into coleslaw or salad. Add a handful to your favorite soup or stew. Or blend them into a fruit smoothie for a hint of natural sweetness. A little each day can go a long way toward clearer vision and steadier steps. But as helpful as carrots are, not all vegetables are so kind. Some, though they seem healthy, may actually be stirring up inflammation in your joints and quietly making your legs weaker. Let's uncover one of those hidden culprits next. 5. Eggplant. The joint pain you didn't see coming. You made a healthy dinner last night. Baked eggplant, maybe with a little tomato sauce and parmesan. It felt like a smart, heart-friendly choice. But this morning, your knees are aching more than usual. Your fingers feel stiff, and getting out of bed took just a little more effort than it should have. Sound familiar? Most people would never suspect that eggplant, a vegetable praised for being low in calories and high in fiber, could be the hidden reason behind their joint discomfort. But for many older adults, it just might be. Here's why. Eggplant belongs to a group of vegetables called nightshades. These plants produce a natural chemical called solanine to protect themselves from insects. For some people, especially those over 60, with more sensitive joints or early signs of arthritis, solanine can quietly trigger inflammation in muscles, joints, and even nerves. It's not the kind of reaction that hits you immediately. It builds up slowly. One meal might feel fine, but over time, regular eggplant dishes, especially in things like eggplant parmesan or veggie lasagna, can leave you feeling stiffer, heavier, and more uncomfortable without ever knowing why. Several health experts, including those featured in Arthritis Foundation newsletters, have noted that some seniors report relief simply by removing nightshades like eggplant from their diet for a few weeks. For some, the difference is subtle. For others, it's a turning point. Here's what you can try. Skip the eggplant for 2 to 3 weeks and keep a simple joint pain journal. Watch for changes in how your knees, hips, or hands feel. If you want to replace it, try grilled zucchini or roasted mushrooms. Just as tasty, but gentler on your joints. You don't have to give up everything you love. But learning how your body reacts and choosing what supports your strength is one of the most powerful things you can do as you age. An eggplant isn't the only veggie hiding trouble. The next one looks bright and fresh in the produce aisle, but it may be quietly stirring up inflammation in your gut and your legs. Let's look closer. 6. Green bell peppers, the healthy choice that isn't you're walking through the produce aisle. The green bell peppers are stacked high, shiny, crisp, and calling your name. You toss a few into your cart thinking, they're colorful, low-calorie, and fresh. Can't go wrong, right? But later that evening, after a healthy stir-fry, your ankles feel stiff. There's a dull ache in your lower back. And once again, your legs feel just a little less steady than they did last week. Here's something most people don't know. Green bell peppers, while often praised for being healthy, can actually cause issues for some older adults, especially when it comes to inflammation and joint discomfort. The reason lies in what's inside these peppers. Green bell peppers are part of the nightshade family, like eggplants and white potatoes. They contain natural proteins called lectins. These lectins can irritate the gut lining in certain people, especially those over 60 whose digestion may already be more sensitive. When the gut becomes inflamed, it can affect more than just your stomach. That irritation can trigger a chain reaction, leading to aches in your knees, swelling in your feet, or a general feeling of stiffness that you can't quite explain. A number of functional medicine doctors, including those quoted in Cleveland Clinic articles, have seen this pattern in older patients. Once they reduce or remove nightshades, like green peppers, many notice clearer thinking, more energy, and less joint pain. Here's what you can try. Swap green bell peppers for red, yellow, or orange ones. These are fully ripened, lower in lectins, and higher in helpful antioxidants. Lightly roast or sauté them for better digestion. Pay attention to how your body feels after meals that include green peppers. Your joints might be telling you something. Just like people, not all vegetables are the same. What helps one person might quietly bother another. The key is to notice what your body needs now, not what used to work 20 years ago. And there's one more healthy favorite we need to talk about. It's a comfort food for millions of Americans, found in stews, fries, casseroles, and holiday plates. But it may be quietly draining your energy and weakening your legs. Let's take a look. 7. White potatoes. Comfort food. Hidden consequences. It's Sunday dinner at home. The roast is hot, the green beans are fresh, and right in the middle of the table sits a big bowl of creamy mashed potatoes. It's a family tradition, warm, filling, and comforting, just like always. But later that evening, you feel tired, heavier than usual. Your legs cramp up a bit. Your blood sugar might feel off. And by morning, your feet are colder, a little number, and your energy feels low. What happened? White potatoes may feel like a wholesome, all-American food, and they are. But for many seniors, especially those managing blood sugar or circulation issues, they can come with a hidden cost. Here's why. White potatoes are very high in simple carbohydrates, meaning they quickly turn into sugar in your bloodstream. This causes blood sugar spikes, which may be followed by crashes, and over time, this roller coaster can harm the small blood vessels that keep your legs, feet, and brain healthy. If you're over 60, your circulation isn't what it used to be, and when blood can't move freely through your legs, you might start noticing numbness, tingling, muscle weakness, or even slower wound healing. That's not just uncomfortable, it can limit your independence. What's more, white potatoes often come loaded with butter, cream, or salt, making them even tougher on your heart and arteries. A study from the Harvard School of Public Health found that diets high in rapidly digestible starches, like those in white potatoes, were linked to increased risk of type 2 diabetes and vascular damage, especially in older adults. So, what can you do instead? Swap white potatoes for sweet potatoes, which digest slower and are rich in antioxidants. Limit portion size. Aim for half cup instead of a whole plate. Roast or bake them with olive oil and herbs. Skip the cream and heavy butter. Balance with fiber-rich veggies like broccoli or spinach to slow sugar absorption. You don't need to give up comfort. You just need to shift what comfort looks like now, because the right choices today mean stronger steps tomorrow. And now that we've uncovered the vegetables that may be holding you back, it's time to explore the power of how we prepare our food. Even the healthiest veggies can lose their benefits or become harmful depending on how you cook them. Let's talk about that next. 8. The power of preparation. Cooking to heal, not harm. You bought all the right ingredients. Broccoli, spinach, carrots, fresh from the store, and full of promise. But by the time dinner's ready, the broccoli's mushy, the spinach is overcooked, and the carrots are buried under butter and brown sugar. It feels like you're trying, but somehow your body isn't responding. Here's something many people don't realize. It's not just what you eat, it's how you prepare it. As we age, our digestion becomes more sensitive. Our bodies absorb nutrients differently, and cooking methods that worked in the past, like deep frying, boiling too long, or drowning veggies in salt and fat, can quietly undo many of the benefits we think we're getting. For example, broccoli loses much of its powerful inflammation-fighting compound, sulforaphane, when it's boiled too long. Spinach, when over-sautéed, can lose its brain-boosting folate, and carrots soaked in butter may spike cholesterol instead of supporting vision. But when done right, cooking can turn your kitchen into a source of healing. Simple changes make a big difference. Steam broccoli lightly for 3 to 4 minutes instead of boiling. Sauté spinach gently with olive oil and garlic just until it wilts. Roast carrots with a sprinkle of herbs instead of candying them. Use herbs like turmeric, rosemary, and thyme to add flavor and anti-inflammatory power without heavy salt. Think of it this way. Every meal is a message to your body. You can send one of stress or one of support. And once your plate is working for you, not against you, you'll start to notice the difference in your joints, your energy, your clarity. But food is just one part of the puzzle. Because real strength, especially after 60, doesn't just come from what you eat. It comes from the small, consistent choices you make every day. Let's explore how those daily decisions build a stronger, freer life. One plate at a time. 9. Small changes, big protection. One plate at a time. You're sitting down to dinner. Maybe alone, maybe with your spouse, maybe with grandkids running around. The plate in front of you looks simple. A piece of chicken, a few veggies, maybe some rice or a roll. It's not fancy. It's not trendy, but it's familiar. And it's yours. You may not think much about it, but that plate in front of you holds more power than you realize. At this stage in life, we don't need extreme diets or dramatic changes. In fact, those can often do more harm than good. What really matters is consistency, the small, thoughtful choices you make day after day, because over time, they add up to real protection. Here's the hidden truth. Aging doesn't take your strength away all at once. It does it slowly. One skipped vegetable, one sugary snack, one unbalanced meal at a time. But the good news? You can reverse that trend just as quietly, with simple habits like swapping white potatoes for sweet potatoes a few nights a week, adding a handful of spinach to your eggs or smoothie, choosing lightly steamed broccoli as your go-to side dish, roasting carrots instead of reaching for dessert, limiting nightshades like eggplant and green peppers. If your joints feel stiff, these aren't big leaps, they're gentle shifts. And they don't take extra money or time, just a little more attention. As AARP often reminds us, healthy aging isn't about living longer, it's about living better. And better living starts with the next forkful, the next trip to the store, the next decision you make for yourself, because every plate is a vote, for strength or for struggle. You're not powerless in this process. In fact, you hold more power now than ever before. And speaking of power, let's talk about something even deeper than food, something that fuels your heart, your hope, and your future. Let's reflect on what it really means to protect the life you've built, inside and out. Final reflections. Your life, your strength, your choice. It's early morning. The house is quiet. You're sitting by the window with a warm cup of coffee, watching the sun rise through the trees. Maybe the paper's in your lap. Maybe your dog's curled at your feet. It's peaceful. But in the back of your mind, you're thinking about your health, about how your body feels different these days. Maybe your legs don't move like they used to. Maybe your memory slips now and then. Maybe the foods you've loved for years just don't sit right anymore. And it can feel frustrating, like time is moving faster than you'd like. But here's something powerful to remember. Aging isn't something that just happens to you. It's also shaped by the choices you make, day by day, plate by plate. You don't need perfect meals, expensive supplements, or trendy diets. What you do need is awareness, a willingness to listen to your body, and the quiet courage to say, I matter. My health matters, and I still have a say in how I age. Because here's the truth, you're not just adding years to your life, you're adding life to your years. When you protect your legs, your brain, your heart, you protect your freedom, your ability to drive, to travel, to play with your grandkids, to walk into a room feeling steady, confident, and whole. Even something as small as choosing broccoli instead of fries or cutting back on green peppers is a powerful act of self-respect. It says, I still have goals, I still have dreams, and I'm not done yet. As Mayo Clinic health experts often remind us, healthy aging is not about avoiding every illness. It's about keeping the strength to do what you love for as long as possible. So here's my invitation to you. Don't just watch this video and move on. Take one small thing you've learned and try it this week. Swap one vegetable. Cook one meal a little differently. Pay attention to how your body responds, because the journey to better health isn't built in a hospital or a clinic. It starts right here, in your own kitchen, in your own heart. And if this message spoke to you, even in a small way, I hope you'll share it with a friend, a sibling, a spouse, because we're all walking this road together. And who knows, the next step you take could be your strongest one yet.